Okay. You all set to record?
Yeah, this is Gene and Helen. Yep, we're recording now. This is Gene and Helen, and they are with Jewel right now, and a list of questions. And well, who's going to take it? Helen, you going to try first?
I'm going to let my mom take the lead on this one.
Okay, here's Mom.
Yeah, one of the main things I wanted to know is when you write a song, do you write the words first, or does the music come to you, or is it all at one time, or how do you do that?
Switching of the microphone. They usually come together when they're a song. They seem to just come inextricably bound. If it's a poem, it's usually just words that show up, no melody. It's usually how I know the difference.
I mean, do you have like a story in mind when you...
When I write by myself, I don't usually have a story in mind.
No.
I just start, it's like when you take a walk and you start seeing where the path leads you, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's leading over to the left here. Sometimes I don't even know what songs are about till they're over. Sometimes I'll have sung them a couple times. But when I co-write, it's different. It tends to be a little bit more structured. I go in usually with an idea. I co-wrote Stronger Woman, and that was lyrics that I'd already have sort of written, and kind of went into it with a purpose.
Okay. Go ahead.
When you're on stage, do you still get butterflies?
Gosh, I haven't gotten butterflies in a really long time. I've gone through all kinds of phases. When I was a little kid, I used to get so nervous. I performed with my parents since I was about 6. They had shows in hotels, and I remember getting the hiccups while I yodeled. That's why I would get on stage, was to yodel. That was my bit in the show. I used to get the hiccups. But luckily with yodeling, you can't really tell if somebody's hiccuping during or anything. Then after that, I kind of got too comfortable on stage, or I wouldn't even move. It was just like being in my living room watching TV. I was sort of, not bored, but just too comfortable. And it's sort of gone through a lot of stages because I've been doing it so long. But I'm just real comfortable. I don't write set lists. I just improvise when I go out there, make up stuff as I go, talk, stop. If I mess up, I just stop and start over. I don't feel real nervous or anything about it because fans are so nice, and you already won the battle because they already came to see you, so you can't really mess up too bad.
Well, speaking of fans, what's the craziest thing someone has ever done to get your attention, or just to be like, hey, Joel, over here?
I'm pretty amazed. I have really cool fans. I've been friends with like some of the band members in the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and we'll both walk down the street, and my fans will come up to me and be like, hey, Joel, I just wanted to let you know I really respect what you're doing. I'll leave you alone, but I just want to say I'm a fan. And, their fans would come up to me like, oh my God, will you sign my chest? So my fans seem to be really pretty cool, pretty mellow, very well versed. Like, they know all my obscure songs that I've written. I don't know, nothing too crazy. Everybody's been pretty nice and respectful.
First of all, I want to say congratulations on your marriage.
Oh, thanks.
And I was wondering how that's going with being on the road performing. Does he get to come see you perform a lot, or do you get home, or?
Yeah, Ty comes out quite a lot. We've been together 10 years, so we're both pretty used to our travel schedules. While he was rodeoing, we'd actually be in a lot of the same venues in a lot of the same towns, one night after the next, like I'd be in Utah, and then the next day he'd be in Salt Lake City too, or we'd crisscross and get to see each other sometimes. Now that he's retired from actually writing, his schedule's a little bit lighter, although he still goes to a lot of bull ridings. But I get home, I try to, the reason I tour like I do, like I think I'm doing 20 cities in 18 days, 20 shows in 18 days, is because I like to get it over with. I don't like to have nights off on the road because it's just another night I'm away from home. So I try and just, do as many shows in a row as I can so that I can get back to the ranch. And Ty comes out periodically, like he's out here with me tonight for the next couple days.
The style of clothes that you wear, do you do that just for your shows, or is that you at home? Or do you like to just wear sweatpants and pajamas, kind of relax?
It's just for touring. I wouldn't get to wear any of this clothing. I live on a ranch, so I just wear jeans and t-shirts every day. And the longer the tours go on, the more tempted I am to wear my sweatsuit on stage. I should have been a rapper. I actually missed my callings. I'd like to wear diamonds and sweatsuits, so that would be what I'd like.
Is that it? Just one more, actually. Are you okay, Mom?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What would you say is your main inspiration for your songs?
Those are good. For me, it's just been life. You know, I've had a sort of difficult life, and especially as a kid, you know, I felt really lonely and confused, and I didn't really understand. I was just sort of fending for myself so much. Writing really helped me cope. You know, instead of turning to drugs, I turned to writing, thankfully, and I really think it saved my life and helped pull me through some real difficult times. And you know, like while I was homeless, I wrote a song called Hands, and it's always just been sort of to help myself, and because I also felt like most of the people I ran across were as lonely and as struggling as I was, and I was just looking for hope and some way to turn their lives around and find happiness and find a way to do something that they enjoy with their life and not just feel like a victim of the circumstance that they were born into. So that's pretty much what's inspired me. I write about my life, all aspects of it, you know, from love to, you know, social issues to jobs to, and that's just sort of how it's always been. I've always written really just as a reflection of my own experience.
Wonderful.
Well, thanks guys. It was nice to meet you.
Very good. Thank you.
So very much. Thank you.